Okay, so now we're going to talk about body cavities. And so Okay, so here we have Muscle Man, and he's something that we commonly use in the anatomy lab. And so let's look at Muscle Man's cavities. He's about to lose a muscle here. Okay, so first of all, here we have his skull. All right, this part is totally encased. None of it is open to the outside, the stuff that's in here. We take off the skull. What do we find inside? Brains. Okay? So, this hollowed out region, all of the part inside here, that holds the brain is a cavity. It's hollowed out. And because that cavity is in the head, because it holds the brain, it is going to be called the cranial cavity. Okay. Now let me show you another cavity on Muscle Man. And I've got to take off a few muscles here to get to it. Okay. This right here, his thorax here, his abdomen here, rib cage protecting the thorax region. And if we take off that rib cage and all of the muscles attached to that rib cage, underneath is going to be a cavity. All right? And you notice there are all of these guts, all of these organs would be the proper term, inside. We've got the heart, the lungs, and the big thing you should notice is right here is the diaphragm. And so everything above that is going to be thoracic cavity. Everything below that is going to be abdominopelvic cavity. Now, the lungs have a cavity within a cavity. Anything related to lungs is called pleural cavity. So they have the pleural cavity. The heart is surrounded by the pericardial cavity. And then this region right in here that contains the heart, some of the great blood vessels coming off of the heart, the trachea, the esophagus, that is going to be called the mediastinum. It sits in between the two lungs. Abdominopelvic cavity, there's kind of a distinction between abdomen and pelvic, or abdominal and pelvic cavity, but there's no clear structure that physically separates the two, like the diaphragm physically separates these two cavities here. Okay. And so now I'm going to show you back on the PowerPoint slide some of the other cavities that you should be aware of. Okay, so let's talk about some of the cavities again that we see. So we've already talked about the cranial cavity. It contains the brain. And then running continuous with that, but down in between a space of the vertebra is going to be the vertebral cavity. And you can see that's going to contain the spinal cord. If we combine the cranial cavity and vertebral cavity together, they form the larger dorsal body cavity. Now, just a note of